I wonder who is to blame for the murder of Lindsay Clancy's children. Is it the neglectful medical system? Is it her neglectful husband? Is it the stressful corporate world? Is it the system where two parents have to work full-time jobs and their children are needing to be raised by daycare? Or is it the children's fault for being rowdy? I wonder, I really, really wonder. Could perhaps the person responsible for the murder be the murderer herself? Curious. Could the person responsible for Lindsay Clancy's children being murdered be Lindsay Clancy? Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. Lindsay Clancy is responsible for the murder of her children. Why? Because she murdered them. And there is no excuse for murdering anything or anyone. Sorry, there never is. There's never an excuse for murder. Never. I don't care what you say. There's people out there leaving their partners because they support Lindsay Clancy, and you know what? Right on. I would do the same exact thing if my partner supported Lindsay Clancy or made any excuses for her. I would leave my partner right on the spot. No hesitations. There's something strange happening to women, and I do believe it is the radicalization of them. And feminism has perpetuated this idea that women don't need to take accountability, or they don't need to take as much accountability. Feminism is a cancer and a disease of the mind. And it has brought us here to this very moment. It has brought us to women rallying behind a woman who killed her 3 children. I don't know if you remember, but there's another case incredibly similar to this one, and it's the case of Chris Watts. He killed his wife and he killed his 2 children. Very similar manners, by the way. He apparently strangled them all. But he is looked at societally as a monster, as he should be. Even the women who supported him from jail are looked at as monsters, majority, right? Even his mistress is looked at as a monster because there's people who think she might have known something. Everybody in that case that are not the victims and are not the family members are looked at as monsters. And there's a good reason for that, because they are. They are, give or take, you know. But Chris Watts is 120% the monster, and he is 120% responsible. And you will not see men rallying behind Chris Watts saying, well, his wife just wasn't putting out. Well, you know, his job was stressful. Well, you know, being a dad is hard. Well, you know, he lost all that weight, got really fit, started looking really good, and his wife just wasn't doing it. So he had to go get a mistress. You know, he's got to get it in somewhere. You'll never hear a man saying that. And most men probably don't even think that, especially men with families and children that love their families and children. You will never hear masses of men going out and rallying. Now, I don't know if you've seen these rallies for Lindsay Clancy, but they look like fucking breast cancer rallies, which is really deceiving, which is unfortunate because a lot of women are actually easily manipulated through emotions. So when they say, hey, honey, being a mother is hard, and sometimes you just want to strangle your kids, why don't you come over to our side? We have cookies. You know, when they hear those words, like, we get you, we understand you. And yeah, maybe their husband doesn't seem like he understands. Maybe the children are a little rowdy. Maybe her job is stressful. It doesn't give anyone the right to kill people, to kill the children, even if she killed her husband, doesn't give her the right. And it doesn't give you the right to support her either. I don't think that people who support her are just as guilty as her, in my opinion. I know legally we can't do anything, but in my mind, morally, they are just as guilty. If they support murder, to me, they are murderers. They're just as bad. The only victims in this situation, because Lindsay Clancy is not a victim, the only victims in this situation are Lindsay's children. Those are the only victims, not her. And I think Patrick is a secondary victim. He's a secondary victim. You know, there's tons of things I could say about him. Maybe he was a neglectful husband. I don't know. He could have been an abusive husband. He could have been a neglectful father. He could have been an abusive, verbally abusive husband. He could have, you know. I also could say, like, he should have seen the signs. He should have seen that she was dangerous. He should have seen that she was mentally spiraling. Sure. But he's a victim, nonetheless. And that doesn't give you the right to murder your children. Just because you have a neglectful husband, even if you have an abusive husband, that doesn't mean you should murder your children, nor does it give you the right. And oh my God, the people saying that he did it, that he's the one that did it, here's the thing. The trial has been investigated. The investigation has already occurred. This is not Dateline NBC. They know who murdered the children. They know. There's no conspiracy theory behind it. There's no reason for a conspiracy theory. It's just absolutely retarded, honestly, the conspiracy theories about how Patrick is the murderer. When I heard that, I was like, we have fully gone into Idiocracy. We have fully entered the movie Idiocracy. This trial is not about who did it, who done it. This trial is about, did she murder her children? Like, yeah, she did murder her children, but did she murder her children because she was in psychosis? She was insane? Or did she murder her children with full control and consciousness? In my opinion, she murdered her children knowing full well what the fuck she was doing. That's my opinion. Just as Chris Watts did it. And I know we hate to think that a maternal caregiver, someone who's supposed to be nurturing and beautiful and perfect and feminine and delicate, we don't like to believe that she's capable of the cold-heartedness that it takes to strangle your 3 babies. We don't want to believe that. And maybe that's why her supporters are backing her up, because they don't want to believe that she's just a cold-hearted bitch. But I will tell you right now, there are cold-hearted men and there are cold-hearted women. They exist. And she is nothing but a cold-hearted bitch. She killed those kids in cold blood. And it's as cut and dry as that. And I'm sorry if you think otherwise. I'm sorry if I'm bursting your bubble. This is not about women's health. This is not about how being a parent is hard. This is about a mom who decided to kill her 3 children in cold blood, in cold strangulation. I'm the first one to tell you, hey, maybe you should double think before you have children. Maybe you shouldn't have children if you're a fence sitter. I'm not going to have children. I'm child-free. I full well know and understand the system is broken, that the system doesn't support families, and it doesn't support kids anymore, and it doesn't support anybody. It doesn't, no matter who you are, unless you have millions of dollars or billions of dollars, the system doesn't support you anymore. And if we are in the end times, we might be. And this is a sign. We're not living in a patriarchy, we're living in a matriarchy. This strange, covert, and insidious matriarchy. And it's going beneath the veil of our consciousness. We don't see it. We are taught to think we're in some sort of a patriarchy, but I would argue that we're actually in a matriarchy, where women don't get held accountable for doing heinous, sickening, disgusting acts. that they get told, it's okay, honey, it's not your fault. We get you. We know where you're coming from, despite the fact that you murdered your children in cold blood. That is the reality of life now, and it's disturbing and sickening that I have to see these suburban white liberal woke moms go out marching in the streets looking like they're at a breast cancer walk. But nope, they're supporting a murderous psychopath. They're supporting her. Very strange. It does remind me of how women do write love letters to murderous men in prison. It reminds me of that. But it also reminds me and lets me know that we are in this suicidal empathy mindset, and it is due to women, and it is due to feminism, and I do believe it's destroying the country. We need men to step up, we need men to be manly again, and we need to balance the scales. It's not good when women are being masculine. I say that as a masculine woman, but I do believe that there shouldn't be a matriarchy or a patriarchy. The scales should be balanced, because patriarchy no good, matriarchy no good. I don't want any sex in control. I think both sexes have issues and problems that we need to work on within ourselves. And that is what I believe. But right now, I do believe we're in this covert, insidious matriarchy, and it's scary. But yes, Lindsay Clancy is the only person responsible for these murders. The only person. And she's disgusting, and I hope that we can shame her supporters enough to realize that they are also disgusting. They are disgusting human beings. Anyway, just wanted to get that off my chest, because I've been watching this shocking stuff go down, and I'm sickened. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.